Welcome back to Well, That Didn't Work, the podcast where a group of friends gets together to pretend to be different people, creatures, and things, doing things that mostly don't work out for them. I'm your host and your GM, Percy, and with me I've got Mike.
And I'm playing Udell.
Jason.
And I'm playing Lukia.
Rick.
I'm playing Click.
And Chris.
I'm playing Varro Dorkan.
And last time on Urban Stars, our group mostly kind of just got together. Luika is still investigating the death of Gregory in the stairwell leading from the lower city of Terrace down to the undercity. And the other three have met in a small, not tavern, more of a cafe called the Terrace Underbelly, which specializes in space pork.
Spam.
And spam.
That is trademarked.
It's sliced processed alien meat.
Perfect. Very good comeback. Yes.
That one also might be trademarked. It's from a TV show.
Oh, is it?
Don't worry, I'm not that original, Rick.
Dang, I was so impressed.
Yeah, my wife thought I was pretty original too until she started watching all the shows that I watch.
Oh, I see. You just regurgitate a lot of stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, no. I got her real good with several like Anchorman quotes when we first met.
Oh, nice. He fooled her long enough to get married.
Exactly. That's all I needed.
So he got her 2 tickets to the gun show.
See if you like the goods. All right. So, they met to talk about Kiklik potentially finding a couple of leads where he could find his brother who's been missing for a couple of weeks on the planet Terrace. We still don't know a whole ton about that, but we know that he's got an idea to go visit a professional xenobiologist, a research doctor who is named Ben Adele. He's a Verpine expert, so he's done a lot of research on the Verpine species and might know a way that maybe you could modify some equipment to specifically track down their DNA signature or something. Just anything that could help in the tracking of other Verpine on the planet. And so in that process, he felt like Udell might be a good lead to get into the upper city. So he visited him, and then Varho wandered in for lunch. And that's where we saw an individual close a holoprojector. And that's where our characters left off. So you're still in the cafe. Click, I think you were on your way out the door.
Yes.
So where are you particularly going while they sit and eat lunch?
I'm going to go. I am also going to continue to look for credits because he told me he had a lead that would get me to the upper city, but he couldn't help me with credits. So I'm going to go see Nuglug and see
Lugnug.
Lugnug, Gluglug.
Bug.
Ugug. And see if I can, if he can help me with credits. I realize that I'll probably have some sort of obligation to him at this point, but I think he would probably like that.
I see. So Lugnug is currently unavailable. He hasn't gone off planet, but he's visiting the middle city right now, talking to another pit boss, trying to get his own leads for who murdered Gregory. So he is not currently in the lower city available to be contacted. So what you would probably want to do at this point is to kind of petition his, there's kind of like a common area for his pit fighters, like an area where when they're done training, they can kind of visit almost, this is going to be a terrible analogy, but like if you're playing mini golf and you go inside for like a hot dog, like that's the kind of area that it is. They've even got space skee ball set up.
Do they have sliced processed alien meat there
They
too?
do.
Okay.
It's quite popular in the lower city.
I would imagine.
And space bologna.
There's a lot of space bologna going on tonight. Absolutely.
That space government cheese, it's always available. Sorry.
So
looking
he
at
has-
looking at our one military man who might know a thing or two about space military cheese or space government cheese.
We'll leave it alone. Let's just say it burns going in and it burns going out.
All right.
That's what she said.
Oh, no.
Digression, sir. Digression.
That is definitely going to be cut from both feeds.
Sorry, I watched too much of The Office.
That's not possible.
That's not possible.
Possible.
I actually just finished it for, I think, the 40th time.
Yes.
And restarted it immediately after. Because it's been a couple weeks since I watched the first season.
I know. We had it on a loop.
It's still
home,
on.
you know.
That's what I watch to go to sleep to. Anyway, this isn't about The Office. We can do another podcast to talk about The Office.
He is in the office, though. He is in Lugnugs.
Well, not his office. He's in his underquarters.
Does he have? Would I understand his?
That sounds even worse. Oh my goodness.
And I'm not going to make a comment about
He's
that.
in Lugnug's underquarters. No, the break room. You're in the break room.
So some people might call that the underquarters.
It has been a long day of work, and it's getting later in the evening.
It
And
is
no
getting
alcohol has been consumed for the creation
later. On
of
camera. We don't know what's happened off camera.
That's absolutely true.
We all just took a break.
We all butchered a couple of names, had some glug glug going on. I don't
Glug
know.
glug ugg ugg mug mug.
We got fans now, so
That's
you know,
actually
yeah.
that's actually how Gamorreans talk. They just rhyme things with ugg. It's their entire language.
You notice a whole theme with the names for Verpine.
I thought that was the Ugnaughts.
Well, maybe both.
All right.
That's
So
fine.
would
Now
I have
get it.
would I have determined a hierarchy for
No.
none at
You
all?
have spent very little time in this area.
Then I will I think I will probably try to hire myself out as an engineer and see if I will go back to the area where things were damaged, where they need repairs, and see if they wish to.
Okay, great. So you go down to that area and you find the foreman, who is a Celestin. He's kind of walking around. He's got a data pad. He's looking at a list of names and different objectives, tasks that need to be done. For the most part, the apartments have been brought back up, but there's still quite a bit of rubble, and his goal is to kind of do some reconstruction of the wall to make it as sturdy as he can.
Okay. Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yeah, what can I do for you?
I am here. I need credits, and I think I can help in the reconstruction of this wall.
He looks up from his data pad for the first time and says, "Hey, you're a bug man. Isn't you the one that broke the wall?"
No, sir. I did not break the wall. Since you are repairing the wall, you obviously can tell how faulty the construction was and how antiquated it was. It needed to have maintenance done many times over. Neglect is what broke the wall, sir.
Yeah, that's a little like saying blasters only work when you put an energy pack in them.
That is true. So yes, I am speaking the truth.
So it's the energy pack's fault that the blaster went off.
Well, no. It's because the energy is
Oh,
triggered
it's because
by-
someone hit a button.
That is true. Very simple, but yes, accurate.
Yeah, so one might say that the person who hit the button made the blaster go off, yeah?
That is also accurate, sir.
So then another person might also say, an enterprising, smart Verpine like yourself might say that the person who hit the button and made the apartments fall out was the one that I can blame for making the apartments fall out.
Well, sir, your logic is inescapable. So I guess in a sense you could actually say that. Yes, you could.
And the truth comes out. All right, I'll let you work for me. What can you do? What do you specialize in?
Well, sir, I can analyze the structural integrity here, and I can already see that some plexi steel in certain locations up there would probably be a great help. Perhaps I could work with your engineers because I already
plexi
see.
steel, you don't say. Well, you know what? Hold my clipboard while I go to the upper city and get some plexi steel. We ain't got no plexi steel.
There are ways to mix compounds that simulate the effects of plexi steel. Perhaps I could help with some of that.
All right, roll me a. I think that's going to be a knowledge check. Let's see, what kind of knowledge do we have? Maybe education. Probably education would work the best. I know you don't have any knowledge skills.
I have no knowledge whatsoever.
So I'm literally coming at this with no knowledge. So. But I think if we mix some things, it might work.
If we go with
He
mechanics,
is my cleric.
River,
I see a lot of
armor?
MacGyver. We got this.
this is gonna be a hard check.
I kind of figured you were going.
Yeah,
there.
yeah, but
I'm
you
gonna
do
boost
have
it.
some points,
Yes, I'm
so
gonna
you're gonna
boost
flip a
one.
light side point.
Wow.
Look at that!
Look at all that success with threats.
Wow.
So I have
Oh my goodness.
4 threats and 4 success.
You know what you want to know.
In spades.
In spades, yeah, you know the right compounds, and you know how to get them here. You know how much roughly they would cost on a planet like this.
That might be out of his, because he didn't really have much knowledge outside. Though he's been on the computer a lot, so maybe he might have picked some.
Yeah, yeah. So you've basically in your searchings and knowings, you may not know like the name of the facility, but you know exactly what types of facilities to go to. Like,
Gotcha.
We may need to cut this out, but like in Breaking Bad, when Walter knows that you can rob this place of their like Sudafed storage, like what you need to break down in order to make the compounds.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So basically, I know what store-bought product
Yeah,
has the
you
ingredients.
you need X chemical. You know what to buy to get that chemical to
Gotcha.
break it down.
Gotcha.
Chemical X is used to make the Powerpuff Girls. I'm sorry. That's not available here.
You don't know what's available.
I was going to say, with that much threat, he knew exactly what he was doing, but he glued himself to the bucket.
As funny as it would be to have every episode be click stuck somewhere else.
Excuse me. Could you help me, please?
I'm glad somebody picked up on that one.
Yeah, oh yeah. No, instead, you notice there's a group of individuals working, 4 of them, who you seem to have caught their eye. And
Did they throw it at me?
no. You don't have those reflexes, my friend. Actually, you might. You have 4 agility.
Yes.
No, you seem to have caught their eye, and they don't seem pleased that you're there.
Okay.
Yeah. So cool. So you've made this chemicals check. He's going to order those chemicals, and you're going to be in charge of mixing them. And he says you can wait until tomorrow. Like if you come back tomorrow, we'll have everything here for you, and you'll be able to mix them. If you're not here at the equivalent of 8 a.m. sharp, then A, you're fired, and B, you owe him for the chemicals that he purchased.
Oh. Okay. I could write up I could write all the information down, but I will be here.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you. How much does this pay? I need 300 credits.
Oh, I was just thinking, how's 300 credits sound?
That sounds wonderful.
It's
Thank
probably
you.
going to take you about 2 weeks. Does that seem fair to you?
That doesn't seem fair. No, sir. I have been able to gather that people earn more credits than that.
Well, maybe people that don't break walls earn more credits than that. You can roll a negotiation if you would like.
Okay. Negotiation. Boy, I'm just brilliant at negotiation.
It's going to be 3 purples.
And now you want Odell.
Yes.
Oh!
Oh!
Now 300 credits is going to be what you're stuck at. If you had rolled threat, he was going to increase it. So at least you didn't do that,
I know. Look at all those blanks.
or decrease it rather.
Yes.
Cool. So you'll get your entry fee into the doctor's office. At
Okay.
least. Now you've just got to let Udell find his way, or your way, up to the upper city.
But that doesn't do me any good until I get the credits.
Right.
So, yeah, okay.
But you'll get them.
All right.
Cool. So as he's doing that, what are you guys doing? This happened over the span of several hours, but we'll cut backwards to your time in the diner.
Just enjoying a nice lunch.
Cool. Do you and your partner sit with Udell?
Sure.
All right. I will remember her name one of these days. Neri.
Neri, yes.
Cool. So you guys are sitting together. What kind of conversation do one of you start? She just kind of says she knows that you know each other, but she's not a particularly outgoing individual. She's just good at her job.
Okay. Well, since I actually caught on the perception earlier, this individual, the light of a holo projector coming back off, right? I'll kind of, I would assume that I would kind of point that out to my table company here, knowing that they're both cops and what potential situation I'm sitting in. So I think that's where I would start the conversation.
Okay. So start it.
So, Varho,
Yes?
I know you have your back turned, but there seemed to be a holo projector that was pointed in our direction, and I want to say that it turned on and off, and it's kind of concerning that somebody would be paying attention to us like that.
Oh. Are they still sitting there?
Well, I didn't necessarily see them, but again, the projector itself, it was clear as day that it came on and off. It was at us.
About that time in the conversation, your waitress brings over your food. Detective Neri had ordered what basically looks like an open-faced, open-belly stuffed frog. Just kind of all kinds of stuff on the inside of it, and of course, fork and knife. It's a little sophisticated.
Spork.
Sproke. And then Varho, she brings you over basically what looks like 3 sausages with kind of a pink flower on the end of them. You know them to be a fairly common, very muscular slug. So a lot of meat in them. And
Sausages, I would hope
Just
so.
going to make me say it.
no. Udell, she brings you out a plate of little like wafers with, or like crackers essentially with like a, not cream cheese, but space cream cheese.
Blue cream cheese. It is Star Wars. Blue milk is a thing.
Sure, yeah, blue cream cheese. Let's go with it. Blue cream cheese and like some kind of topping, like spices or like a maybe little disc of meat, little spam disc
Okay.
slapped in there.
Space Philadelphia cream cheese. I can see the advertisements now.
Philadelphia.
But they do not endorse this podcast.
Philadelphia. Cool. So that's what she brings out for you guys, and you enjoy it. I mean, it doesn't sound very appetizing to me, but for whatever reason, you guys like it. So
Well, that's why you got to keep coming back to this place.
that's right. It's an acquired taste. The space slugs are they're very good.
They come
Space
highly
cargo.
There we go.
I had some space cargo once. All right, cool. So,
And then I dropped it. At the first sign of being boarded.
she brings your food and leaves it at the table, and you can continue the conversation now. This is supposed to be a short break to describe your food. Add a little bit of spice to the scene.
You made it spicy, all right.
I did.
Yeah.
So Again, I don't know who it was, but maybe since you guys are the cops, you might want to go check out why he's scanning all of us.
Well, there doesn't seem to be any reason to bother anybody in here. I mean,
It's a public place. There's
Yeah.
no logins taking holograms.
taking a holo projector recording could be for any number of reasons. Is there a reason that somebody might be seeking you out, Mr. Udell, was it?
It's Udell Ilvi, and
Ah, Mr. Ilvey. Oh, yes, I do remember you. You're the man who did nothing at the wall collapse.
I did everything at the wall collapse. I helped stabilize. I made sure that people were safe. I escorted them where they needed to be.
I've seen the video.
Who are you going to believe, me or your own eyes?
Is that a
Say it with straight
persuasion
face.
check?
Yeah, roll me a cool check.
Let me guess. How many reds are in this one?
Not very many.
Not very many. All right.
It's a low consequence risk.
What is the difficulty?
2 purple.
All right. Wow.
Whoa.
Well, I drastically succeed at that one. What is
So-
that? 5 success and a threat?
She's not convinced that you did anything necessarily, but
But
she
she was
kind
saying
of
he didn't
but she
do
kind of
anything.
thinks like, well, I didn't hear the audio, so perhaps you were being helpful.
Of course. Of course.
And she actually kind of is taking an odd liking to you. Not like flirtatiously, but like you get the sense that she considers you friendship material at the least.
Well, I'm the Nemoidian playboy, so it's going to happen somewhere in this. That will be edited. We'll just...
Just give one of those. All right. Cool. So you've endeared yourself to Neri Kaluve.
Okay. We'll call that part right there.
Cool. Luika,
Yep.
you've discovered this kind of scene of the crime, or at least a potential part of it.
Mhm.
Now, what do you do kind of with that information? You know that Lugnug is not in his area, and he probably won't be for about a week or so.
Mhm.
Most likely, he's gone up to Middle City, yes, to determine if there's any information up there, but also to begin scheduling your Middle City bout. Maybe not yours specifically, but his team's.
Right.
So he's gone up to try to schedule the next fight, basically. So in the meantime, what are you doing? You haven't yet contacted them. They don't know. The rest of your party does not know what you've found, or that you have a potential lead that could
Right.
give you information.
Well, and knowing Lucia and the way she would be right now is kind of keeping things close to the chest, at least until things kind of need to be accelerated. She would go to the contact that we would have in house, the medic xenobiologist who's used to dealing with all sorts of different and unfamiliar to me races, but at least may give me a more tangible lead than just a clump of fur that I have.
Absolutely, and what I'm going to do for the xenobiologist.
Yeah.
So Lugnug's Xeno.
Well, he or she is more of a medic, but they have some they deal with a
Oh
multitude.
no, this is a xenobiologist. Probably failed out of their school, but they consider themselves to be professional enough.
Maybe
Right.
experimenting where they shouldn't have been.
Something like that. And you enter into his not chamber. You wouldn't go there. Like the medical room, the operations room where he would be either filing paperwork or ordering equipment or working on a patient or whatever. And as you enter, you see a gray and lightly tan colored small being push away from a desk in a rolling chair, and he spins around, and you see the drawl named Darrett staring you down as he rolls forward and stops himself by putting his feet against your legs and says, well, Luika, what can I do for you today? You didn't get hurt in the last fight, so you must be here about your special quest.
I mean, I've got some information that you may be able to help me with, and I produced the clump of fur. Got any idea what this may be from?
He reaches up. May I?
Yeah.
Grabs it and pushes off of you and rolls over to a table and slaps it down on the table, grabs a set of glasses and puts them on and shakes his head, grabs another set of glasses, puts them over the other glasses, and about 3 or 4 times until he's basically got like a Russian nesting doll's worth of glasses on his face.
Oh, yeah.
And he's, yes. I think you've got Wookiee fur.
Wookiee fur?
I can't believe you didn't recognize it. That must have been pretty easy.
I kind of look over to his glasses. Yeah, real easy to recognize.
He flips and they
Yeah.
they just kind of scatter.
Yeah.
And well, what are you doing with a handful of Wookiee fur? Did you get? There wasn't a Wookiee in your last fight either. So what's going on?
Well,
Is this about your special quest?
I mean, do you want it to be?
Well, of course, I love special quests.
I know you do. So guess what? It is.
Great. How can I help you with your special quest?
Well, I know you wouldn't know the specific Wookiee this came from now, would you?
He picks it up and licks it. No, I don't know that one.
Good. So that eliminates one potential.
Boy, if you think I've only licked one Wookiee,
Oh, I know
you got another thing coming to you, Buster.
I'm well aware you've licked more than one Wookiee. Well, the fact that you don't know which Wookiee this came from eliminates a lot of Wookiees.
It does, about 12 of them.
I thought it was 13 now.
Yeah, I hit one twice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, your stories do get around, right?
I know. I like them too. Hey, tell you what. And he grabs a little satchel bag and flips it over his shoulder. Say, why don't you call your buddies and I'll come with you guys?
I mean,
I'm always down to meet another Wookiee.
there is that. I wouldn't want to stop you from your liaisons with Wookiees. By the way, how's that book coming, Liaisons with Wookiees?
Quite spicy, thank you.
I'm glad. So yeah, let me get everybody together. You mind if we meet in your office, or would you rather meet?
Yeah, bring them on in.
All right.
I
So,
prefer it that way.
Good.
You don't have an office.
This is true, but I do have a house.
Yeah, but it's only got one bed, and I can't sit on one bed with 5 guys. Now, 5 Wookiees, I could probably make that happen.
Oh yeah, I know, but I'll bring them all here.
But they're not good at sitting.
They never usually are.
No.
So
Cool. So we'll screen wipe to who do you go to first?
Oh no, I would comlink them all.
Okay, cool. Yeah, call them in.
Yeah. Why waste all the effort to go meet them individually and
That's
try
fair.
to track them down when I have comlinks to them?
Okay, cool. So
Do
you calm everybody in? Yeah.
Do you want to make this harder on me or not?
No, you're good. You're good. You calm everybody in. Varho's probably not able to make it until the end of the day. He's got to go through his training and deal with all of his job stuff. With
Right.
Galule.
The stuff that I've been watching him do the last few weeks.
Sure, and it's gotten kind of monotonous.
Yeah. Which is why.
Yeah, you felt comfortable enough, basically after like 2 weeks, to say, okay, I don't have to tail him anymore. I can start actually investigating.
Yeah.
And now you've found something.
Right.
So you've got everybody together. Probably around evening, everybody comes, right? Everybody's there.
Yeah.
Everybody gets there. Okay, cool. Just me. I don't want to assume anything about your characters. So you guys meet in the Draw's office, and he's still sitting there with his bag on. He hasn't really moved. He's been just kind of talking to you, sitting in the chair, probably annoying you a little bit.
No, because I'm used to dealing with him. This wouldn't be the first time I've interacted with him, being a pit fighter / gladiatorial combatantist.
Yeah.
I've probably, and I find him interesting because.
Yeah, he probably talks during the entire surgery.
Oh yeah.
Does his best to keep people awake so that they have to listen to him.
Oh yeah. No, he's
Would you
definitely
like a stimulant?
he is definitely an interesting one in his stories. Being the 18-year-old that I am, I find them probably mostly entertaining because it's not like any of the stories I heard back home.
Sure. Cool. So as you guys get in, he greets you all. Hi, I'm Darrett.
Nice to meet you, Darrett.
What's your name?
My name is Kaklik.
Click. How fascinating. You know, I've got a friend that might be interested in meeting you.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Does he have 300 credits?
He's probably got a lot more than that. His name's Adele. He lives in the upper city.
Oh,
Well, I say friend. He kicked me out of the school.
oh. I wish to meet him too.
No, you've heard of him.
Yes, I have.
Everybody's heard of Adele.
Yes. I need to speak with him. Could you take me to him?
Well, he doesn't really like me very much. Friend was loose.
Oh, I see. That is too bad.
Anyway, you're Click. Who are you? You're an officer of the law.
I am.
Or the flaw, as I say. Terrace.
Sure. I'm Zvaro.
Varho? Varho, what are you? Why are you here? Why did Lugnug hire this guy? He's younger than you are. I already think he shouldn't be sending you on this special quest.
Probably because he's, well, you know how Lugnug is with all of his secrets.
Yeah, he's got a lot of them. That's why I want to go on the quest. Varho, it's nice to meet you. I'm
Nice to
sorry
meet
if
you.
I offended you by saying that
Nope.
you're not worthy of this quest.
Not at all.
And
Good
you,
evening. I'm Adele. I'm Udell. You were calling me Adele earlier, and obviously, you know,
Why do you think I
I
gave
figured
that
I'd
name?
play into that one.
I was like, all right, I gotta furiously write down. He's giving names out.
Oh, great. This will get confusing.
He's just handing out names. I'm glad you said Ben. Udell, it's so nice to meet you. You know, your name sounds strangely like my friend Adele.
Ah, yes. You know, I have one of those names. You know, it's very popular.
Well, yeah, sure. So what brought you to Terrace? Why are you? You don't seem like you fit in with the rest of these guys. You don't have any guns or gun skills or.
You mean one of these?
Oh, you do have a gun. I don't even have a gun.
Well, you know,
Don't you have a
Everybody
stim gun?
Well, a stim pack.
Well, yeah,
I
but
can't like fire them from a distance.
no, but you can throw them at people.
Well, why would I throw my stims at people?
You never know.
I know. I do know. That's my thing.
You got me there.
You
Well-
eat space slugs and you know things?
I don't. Who's been saying I eat space slugs?
Oh, I just heard that somewhere.
Who said I eat? Was it Phil? Did Philip say I eat space slugs?
It was Bob.
Bob.
Those dastardly Bobs.
Well, next time he needs an arm implant, you'll see.
Looking at your office, you seem to be some sort of medical person.
Well, yeah.
Perhaps you can check something out for me. I felt a sting on my hip right here the other day.
Well, let me see your hip.
Okay.
Okay, you show him your hip.
Yes, I do.
He gets up real close, starts, where are my glasses? Puts on about 8 different pairs of glasses at the same time and looks real close at your hip. Yeah, you got a crack in your carapace.
How long have you been waiting to say that one? I will have to admit that one's got to be up there.
Well, that just cracks me up.
You're telling me.
Well, that's not good. How did it happen? Can you tell?
What, do you think I'm some kind of Jedi? No, I can't tell how it happened. How did it happen? You're the one with the hip.
I was not hit. I was walking along and I felt a sting right here.
I would say that you were definitely hit.
By the way, when he mentions Jedi, I reflexively, like, shudder.
flinch?
Yeah,
Okay.
just that. I kind of think that's. I can roll a cool check to see if I maintain enough composure to see if
No,
anybody.
you're good. You already said you flinched. It's cool.
Just
We'll run with it.
So, you have no idea what could have caused it. I mean, Verpine don't typically just develop cracks in their carapace for no reason. I must have been struck by something.
Now, you know who might know something about that? I have a friend named Ben
Adele.
Oh, yeah, you know him.
No, I do not know him, but I wish to meet him.
Well,
Wait, you
unfortunately,
asked?
he's not really my friend.
Oh, you meant Adele. Sorry. I'll let you continue your conversation.
Well,
Well, now I do have a friend named Adele.
Wonderful. Good for you.
Oh,
Great.
sorry, Udell.
Oh, we're friends.
Yeah. Are you not my friend?
Well, friends do favors for each other.
Well, I
and-
am going to go on your special quest.
Do you have a special purpose for going on this special quest?
I don't know. It's your special quest.
Udell,
told
Udell
you.
cuts a very sideways glance over towards our young female here.
Jason, the 18-year-old female.
You know, humans, they all look alike.
We all kind of do. We're fleshy, tan things.
Ugly bags of mostly water.
Mostly water is an apt description of us.
And ugly.
Yes, we agree.
We do. We should be friends.
I think that would be fine.
Great. He holds out his hand to shake your hand. Spits in his hand.
I would like to be your friend.
But you didn't spit.
We don't have saliva glands. But I could produce something similar if you would like.
Oh, Lord, no.
Out of the crack in my carapace.
I was just going to go with mucus from the mandibles, but, you know, yeah, we can run with that.
Yeah, that would be okay.
Okay.
Now, quick question. Just for posterity's sake, how do you eat things with no saliva?
How do I eat things with no saliva?
Yeah, like crackers and stuff.
I do not typically eat crackers.
Do you wanna?
No, not really.
They're great.
Are they?
Yeah, you want to try?
Certainly.
He gets out some space saltines.
Do you have any sliced? I can't even remember what it was. Alien meat?
Of
To put
course.
on them?
But I got it. The crackers are great by themselves. We'll take that for what it is.
Okay.
And he gives you a handful of them.
Now, Click, there is a competition when eating crackers. There's a special way to do it.
Oh, that's true. You got to eat 6 of them
In a minute.
in a minute.
I see. Okay. Well, here goes. And I bite into one, and it crumples up in my face.
Yeah, he eats all 6 very quickly because he doesn't have any saliva to make it clump up.
I was thinking more that when you bite into them, they just shatter, and
Yeah,
he's
well,
not
it
able
does-
to eat any
it
of them.
does
you know?
do that.
It's like frustrating,
Yeah,
You
okay,
can
we'll go
live
with
on
that. I
these
like
things.
that. Yeah, I live on them all the time. He takes 3 sleeves and shoves them in his satchel.
I see.
All right, time for the quest. Where are we going, Lika?
We eat mostly fungus.
Oh, fungus.
Yes.
I got some of that too.
Oh, that would be good.
At this point,
I'll
I
get
put
you some before bed.
at this point I put my hand on his shoulder and go, "You don't. You really don't.
Okay.
Just trust me on this.
It could be a specialty.
It will definitely be a special thing, but no, just hold back."
All right,
Okay.
so where do we start with this quest?
Well, I think we should probably go back to where I found this. I should probably take all of y'all there, but just to get the rest of the
I'm
team.
sure you took hollow pictures and stuff of that, so you don't
yeah.
have to go there.
No,
necessarily.
but given the fact that he has a more
So the kind of lead that you have is something about Empirico.
right.
So you can either, that's kind of the 2 directions you could take at this point, is you could either go back there and try to see if there are any more clues, which there might be, or you could try to find a way to get information about Empirico. I probably wouldn't go directly after a pit boss
No,
without having any evidence.
well, that and also, to be perfectly blunt, it's not my place to go after that. That would be Lugnug's, and I know the pecking order and the way things go,
Sure.
and would not want to, because any fighter that just shows up at some other pit boss's place of business would easily be targeted or misconstrued as something nefarious going around. So I know better than that. Just
Sure.
So that's
Or
why
you assume better than that.
right, but I think it's safe to assume that, especially given
Sure.
my position and other things about my character.
Sure.
But the thing I would want to go do is potentially split the party and have the
I just got the dang party together, Jason.
I'm aware, but you know how much we both
You never
love.
split the party.
But you know how you and I both love splitting parties.
Yeah, so what do you want to split? How do you want a 60-40?
I already have a crack in my carapace. I don't need a split too.
Well, I was thinking the doctor, myself, and Kuklik would go to the scene, and these two gentlemen would actually go and find out if they could find anything on Empirico, because they're not associated with Empirico in any
Sure.
manner.
So which two gentlemen? I know who you're talking about,
Oh.
but nobody who's listening to or watching this can see where you're pointing with.
Sorry.
Especially since you're
Well,
like
since
over camera. These two guys. Who?
Well, I did say Kuklik,
No,
myself,
yeah,
and the
yeah.
doctor, so
Sure.
I think it can be assumed who the other two are.
Nonetheless.
It could be, but just for the sake of audio things.
Well, Mike and Chris's characters would go and
Udell and
Sure.
Varho.
Udell and
Udell and
Varho.
Varho.
I know,
Oodle.
Okay. Oodle.
I'm aware.
Adele, can you sing for us, sir?
I've been like
Never mind.
I was saving that.
I know he was. I've been waiting.
Saving the Adele jokes for
Just the right moment.
just the right moment.
Just like the crack in the carapace. I've gamed with Percy long enough to know, don't step on his jokes, otherwise he'll step on you.
I won't step on anybody. Well, you are a bug.
You're welcome. I set that
People
one
say
up
that
for
as
you.
if it's offensive,
Yeah.
but it is accurate.
Yeah, you're not a pest. You're a bug. It's different.
Thank you.
Look,
Yes.
we exist in a PC environment here. You are an insectoid.
Ah, okay. I am Verpine. Actually, an
And I exist in an NPC environment.
Actually, insectoids have
Da-da-da-da-da.
6 legs, and I only have 4, so that would be inaccurate.
So you're splitting the party.
Okay, if he's
You're
talking
welcome.
about Empirico, would you like me to get on the computer perhaps and do some investigation?
Well, if you feel like you could make some headway into that, by all means. But
I will certainly try.
probably most of his information would be on his, how you call it, private holonet, so it may be harder to get information.
So who are you sending where again? Remind me.
So the doctor, Kuklik, and I will be going to the scene of the crime, because between the doctor's medical and his mechanics, I figured they would make the most availableness of the space. And then
Sure.
Udell and Varho, because of how they interact with people, would make the most sense to go find the person.
Okay.
And given my background, that kind of makes a lot of sense. But if you want me to roll some
No,
sort
you're
of...
fine. I mean, as long as everybody agrees to that, I don't.
And
Yeah,
plan-wise, what would we be doing with this person?
Well, we found Wookiee. I found Wookiee fur at the scene of the crime. Our good friend here, the doctor, pointed it out. And by the way, you should read his book when it comes out. It's got a lot of interesting Wookiee facts.
What was the name of that book?
Liaisons with Wookiees.
I was wondering if he was going to remember.
Yeah,
That doesn't sound like a medical journal.
It'll be a great page turner.
it will be. But you should hear some of his stories. He will be happy to tell you all about them all day long. And
Am I in
Yeah,
any
too
of
bad
them?
I'm going with you, Luika.
I know, but I enjoy your stories. By the way, this young one over here, he probably shouldn't hear any of those stories.
Oh, you love my stories.
Why would I not want to hear his stories?
I think he wants to hear my stories.
He's probably a hair too young.
You were probably about his age when you heard my first one.
No, I was a little older.
Maybe. Anyway, this
So-
story's not about my stories. It's about your story. Let's go on the secret quest.
Yeah, let's go on this quest. So, we're heading to the waterfall, and y'all should be keeping an eye out for maybe a Wookiee in Empirico's employ.
Cool. Let's go to you guys.
So Empirico is not a Wookiee himself.
I don't know who he is.
Oh, okay.
He just knows the name. He's a pit
Well, okay.
boss.
Let me do
Yeah.
a computer check and see if I can tell you a little bit about Empirico.
Well, I think you're going to the crime scene.
Oh, okay.
He's elected for that to be the way that we split it. Now, at some point, if you get access to a computer, you can probably do that. But
I would think this guy would have a really nice computer in his office.
he probably does. But he probably also doesn't want you to touch it.
He doesn't want me hacking into Empirico on
Yeah,
his
probably
computer that
not.
could be traced back to him. Makes sense.
Yeah. All right. So, how do you guys approach looking for intel about Empirico?
So Varho, do you have access to any police records where we could even look up this name, maybe get a picture, find out who this guy is?
That's probably a good place to start.
Well,
Yes.
you lead the way.
See if I can go to the archives. All right.
All right. So you guys are going to the archives, trying to figure out like kind of criminal record, maybe look at the name Empirico.
Yep.
So you can roll a computers check, or you can have a conversation with like basically you can look it up yourself, or you can talk to the archivist.
Okay.
Let's
go talk to the archivist.
So I'll lead this one off, and I'll head up to the archivist.
Great, Jason. I think you've just said you want to be the archivist. Go for it.
Yes.
We have a question, and maybe you know my young friend here, Varho. He works with the local.
I'm Officer Dorkan.
Yes,
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 and-
officer. I've seen you around here before. You're usually with your superior officer. Where is she at this time?
She is out investigating other leads.
Okay, well,
It is currently like after hours right now.
yeah.
His
but-
shift is over.
Well, I get that, but
Yeah.
they're normally seen together because normally she's the one
Sure.
leading him down here. So of course the archivist would be asking. Well,
Yeah. I'm just making sure the scene stays straight
no, it's
across the board.
yeah, no, and
Well, we've been asked from a security perspective to look into a little issue, and we're unfamiliar with the gentleman we should be looking for. We know he's a pit boss, and he goes by the name of
Empirico.
Empirical. See, we would have butchered that one badly.
Yeah.
Think Roman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Pit
so,
fighters, gladiators, Empirico.
Empirical.
Ludius Maximus.
so let me give it a second.
Biggest dickus.
my best friend is named
My
Biggest.
best friend's his
named
biggest
Dickus. And his wife.
You just vaginas?
Throw him to the floor.
No.
Centurion, throw him to the floor.
Throw it to the floor.
What?
Throw him to the floor.
Very roughly.
I think we need to keep this one because it's killed the GM. No
I
snaps.
love that movie so much.
I think we all do. And the fact that all of us can quote it on the spot.
I actually dropped the last time we broke you two from the video.
It's probably a good plan.
Yeah.
That can be an outtake at the end.
Because I had to ask the last time, are you guys ready? Are you guys okay now?
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, so resetting.
Okay, where were we? Okay.
So we've been tasked with some to do some kind of security follow up for to see if we can find a pit boss. We don't even know what he looks like. His name is Empirico, I believe.
Well,
That should be standard records here.
Well, sure, but I have no idea who you are. But Officer Varho, do you vouch for this individual? I mean, he's asking all the questions here. I would figure this isn't standard policy. I know it's after hours, and I know you're allowed to do your own investigations on the side. It's never been frowned upon per se within the terrorist forces, but with the Imperials checking up on everything every now and then, we've got to make sure that stays above board.
I understand, and
The intonation, just so that way you get it. It's either slide me some credits or, find a way to make this official. Otherwise, I'm not going to give you anything. I think is kind of he's not being shady on purpose, but it's kind of like I'm not going to give you everything directly.
What's the name of your force?
the Terra Civil Authority.
Terra Civil Authority. But correct me if I'm wrong, officer. Doesn't the Terra Civil Authority have a long-standing relationship with using citizens to help you involved in these investigations?
I would take charm or negotiation. Either one that you want to do. Now, charm will be a little bit more difficult.
I'll do negotiation. That's fine.
Okay, that'll be average.
Average check.
Now, see, I had a very different idea.
Gotta go a little quicker, man.
Ooh,
So that would be
success with the threat.
2 success and 1 threat.
Yeah, I mean that would give him
Oh yeah.
a reason to be there.
Yeah.
So you succeed, but your threat is going to be the entry of my NPC. Haha.
I told you, let the dice decide.
So kind of from the back, you see the glint of trooper armor, and a stunning individual walks through the door. She's got the shoulder piece and shoulder pad of a commander of some sort of trooper unit, but you're not familiar with it. It's not stormtrooper. She is wearing stormtrooper type armor, but she doesn't have a helmet on, and it's got enough difference to it so that you know it's not stormtrooper. It's something that's not regular.
For all the listeners out there, that would be called laminate armor.
Yeah, that's true, laminate armor. But listeners actually don't know what that is unless they've read the Star Wars books.
But
They know stormtrooper armor.
True, but just for those,
And also, not all laminate armor is trooper armor.
correct.
Exactly.
So anyway, on
Anyway,
with
so
her grand entrance.
she walks in. Yeah, the grand entrance. Thanks, Jason. She walks in and takes a very seductive bite of an apple and sets it down on the table, and kind of leans against it and looks at Varho and says, "Now, what's the little protege doing here?"
Just trying to find something out to help out an investigation is all.
Yeah, and so you know this to be Commander Negri.
Mhm.
Is her name Ariel Negri?
Okay. Should definitely be writing this down.
Yeah, for sure. This is definitely going to be a recurring NPC.
Alrighty.
Helping with an investigation. What are you investigating?
It's a very small thing. It's the murder of a pet, actually. So nothing I felt interfered with.
I see. The murder of a pet.
Which is why we're here after hours instead of on official time.
Is it your pet?
No. And I don't believe we've met.
Nobody, the police force doesn't officially know about Gregory.
No.
I'm so sorry. I normally am so great about introducing myself to new people, but I don't usually talk to ugly people.
But you made such a magnificent entrance.
My name is Ariel Negri. Now, whose pet is it? If it's not yours, and it's not yours, why are you interested in somebody else's pet?
It's an acquaintance of ours. Like I said, it's really a minor thing. We're just trying to find help
I
out,
see.
get some peace and comfort.
It's just a job. We all have to earn a job and a living.
I see. So you're looking for somebody else's pet as a job. Somebody in the lower city has enough credits to hire somebody to look for a pet.
I didn't say I was expensive.
All right. You're going to have to roll.
I'm going to get us in trouble here.
You're going to have to roll a deception because you're trying to withhold information.
Okay. Well,
So deception,
at least that's not my dump stat.
and it's going to be against 4 reds.
That is a dump stat. I'm done.
Now, I will say this. If you get a despair, she's not going to attack you or anything. But you're already a wanted individual. Your obligation's been rolled. Any number of
I'm
things.
flipping.
I was gonna say he's probably gonna be flipping here.
Any number of things can happen at this point to you. And they're all really, really bad.
Okay. But really good for the story, right?
We will see.
Potentially.
Come on, dice. No
There
despair.
is
No
no
despair.
despair.
There's, all right.
That's good.
And a lot of advantage, but not a success.
Yeah,
It is a fail with 1, 2,
6
4.
advantage.
5 advantage, actually, because there's a threat over there that cancels out on one of the red.
Where's? No, I know, but you have
You
6.
still have 6 though.
Well,
You have
six-
7.
you have
Yeah, you have 7
Okay,
showing.
sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
So you have 6 advantage. That's enough for a triumph effect without the success. So basically, you don't deceive her. She knows something about why you're actually here.
Okay.
there's a good chance that she's been monitoring what you're doing, and that's why she just kind of happened to wander from behind the curtain. So
Okay.
she knows you more than she's letting on. You get a sense of that, and I'll spend 2 of your advantages to say that. The 4 advantages still gets you the triumph effect.
Okay. I believe the triumph effect. Let's see. What would be a good way to actually do this? So, considering that was on a deception, I believe the triumph effect should carry over to what I was doing with the potential charm. So maybe there's an interruption at that point saying, maybe it's directed towards Varho. We do have the information here, but it's specifically ignoring me and going towards Varho.
Okay,
Or
cool.
she's impressed by your gumption.
Yeah, so the
And
teller,
I give the trooper lady like a little wink.
the teller behind the desk, oh no, Chris's camera is down.
Man down! Man down!
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Boiler.
Good.
Cool. So the archivist has a very, very thin folder, or a very small file on a data pad, and that's all they have.
So, Officer Varho, here you go for the information you requested. We appreciate your dedication and duty in this task. However, just make sure that the next time you come down here, it's with your superior officer support, because this archivist probably has a crush on the Twi'lek.
Understood. Thank you for the file.
Yes, and Mr. Ilvi, next time you come down here, please don't.
I don't remember giving you my last name.
Don't you? And she turns around and walks
I'm
out of
impressed.
the room. And that's where we'll stop.
I like her. She's hot.
That's where we'll stop for today's session. Thanks so much for tuning in to Well, That Didn't Work. We hope to see you next week. Bye.
Bye.